Hi, and welcome to today's video. First off, thanks so much for 1,000 subscribers. I'm still shocked and could have never achieved this without you guys. So thank you all so much. This video is all about my top 3 favorite risk-free activities to do in Albion Online that are still extremely fun. After going over each section, I will provide you with a build suited for each type of content. Now please enjoy today's video. First off, we have Faction Warfare. Faction Warfare was my first favorite thing to do in the game when I was new. It provides a large amount of fun activities and can also make you pretty good silver for being so easy. I was also someone who never played with groups, but this content is just so easy to jump into that I actually started to enjoy it quite a bit. Whether it's a small fight with a few scragglers from the opposing faction, or a huge Zerg running into another huge Zerg causing absolute mayhem, there's always some action to jump into. Most of Faction Warfare is just running from spot to spot, fighting opposing faction NPCs and capturing points. Faction points add up pretty quickly doing this, and you can get a daily chest if you accrue enough. I personally will do Faction Warfare at the beginning of my gaming session and just do enough to complete the daily bonus. I typically save all my points until I run low on silver, and then just buy a bunch of hearts at the vendor to sell for extra silver. I sometimes get the chests when I need tomes for extra fame, but you typically get more silver from the hearts. I typically take a bloodletter build out and get as many executes in as I can. It's a very easy playstyle to learn for newer players due to the execute being very simple. Just look for someone below 40% health and hit that E on them to finish them off. Another easy build for newer players, or if you want to have a more relaxing time that I like to run, is a longbow build. This is a good option if you find yourself getting downed a lot, because you can fight at a good distance away from the main kerfuffle, saving you silver from getting downed. Some other cool things I like is you get extra fame for being faction flagged in blue, yellow, or red zones. You also earn faction points for doing pretty much anything in these zones as well. I also really enjoy the ranking system because it gives you goals to work towards, and you can acquire faction point bonus depending on your rank. Second, we have Crystal Arenas. I personally love Crystal Arenas, and every time I start doing them I get hooked and end up doing them for hours. I love it because it reminds me of a MOBA such as League of Legends or something, so if you enjoy those you'll love this. You don't lose any gear, and your gear doesn't get damaged either, so once you have a set you like, you can just do this over and over without losing any silver. The Crystal Arena is a special PvP arena in Albion Online where players can battle it out to see who is the strongest. It offers a fast-paced, action-packed PvP experience that is unlike anything else in Albion Online. In the Crystal Arena, players are divided into 2 teams and must work together to capture and hold objectives. Points are treated as a sort of a health bar. Once a player has been killed or point captured against the other team, they lose points. The first to 0 is declared the loser. The Crystal Arena is a great way to test your skills against other players in a controlled environment. It offers a level playing field where players of all skills can compete, and it's also a great way to practice your PvP skills before heading out into the open world. The Crystal Arena also offers unique rewards for those who perform well, while still giving people a sort of consolation prize when they lose. I also enjoy using the Bloodletter for this content because it plays a vital role in Crystal Arena fights, as every 5-man group needs an execute, and the build used typically isn't very squishy. Another good option is the Great Fire Staff. I enjoy sitting back and hitting enemies from a distance doing tons of damage, but fire staff builds are typically squishy, so I would mainly recommend Bloodletter for newer players. Since Crystal Arenas are ranked, most matchmaking is skill based, so you won't get steamrolled as a newbie by a pro team. As you progress, your rank will increase based off performance, and you can also receive a chest every time you reach a new rank with some cool rewards. Third and final, we have Hunter Corrupted Dungeons. I personally think everyone should do these when starting out because you can learn a lot about 1v1 PvP risk-free without losing any gear. You can find corrupted dungeons in any yellow zone. The rewards from the dungeons themselves are pretty but it's really good practice, and a little silver gained is still better than none. When you kill an opponent, you still get some loot, but not as much as full loot would net you, obviously. After selecting the difficulty level and entering the dungeon, you'll find yourself in a place infested with demons. To complete the dungeon, you'll have to defeat these creatures. Each creature you defeat will award infamy points. Different enemies will yield different amounts of infamy based on their difficulty. However, you will find 3 chests inside that give a large infamy bonus and gear or tomes after defeating a mini-boss. You also have the chance for other players to invade you, or if you use the demonic shrine at the beginning of the dungeon, you could invade others. Once you've collected enough infamy points, the final boss in the dungeon appears. By defeating it, you can claim the final chest in the dungeon and can either move on to the next dungeon or return to the surface. I love to test out builds or try weapons I've never tried before using this content and would recommend others to try the same. You have to have 800 item power to enter Hunter difficulty corrupted dungeons. There's also a soft item power cap of 900, so you don't need fancy or expensive gear. Stalker and Slayer difficulties are full loot and can only be accessed by a red or black zone. They have higher tier mobs and higher item power requirements. My personal favorite build to run right now is focused around the wildfire staff. I actually made a video on it not very long ago, and it's super good at melting health bars while having a huge amount of sustain and shields. I hope I could help you guys with some new content in Albion Online to try out. There's obviously much more you can do in the game without any risk involved, but these I find to be the most fun. There are also much better ways to make silver, but this video wasn't really about that. I really enjoy PvP in Albion Online and wanted to help inform others of some ways of doing it without risking their gear. PvP is what keeps me coming back to Albion, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of you guys. Thanks again for watching, and to all of you guys who helped me reach 1K. If you aren't subscribed, please consider hitting that sub and like button to help me out. Now you guys have a good one, and I'll see y'all in the next video.
Fast enough for my problem that you never solve. Send for the done race for your firestorm, cause I turn into a monster. Ready for the war, with a wig of black. None of them boy, they no bad.